Whenever I find a new banana bread recipe, if it looks like it might be an all-time favorite, I try it. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. Well, I found a winner. It's really easy to make, and it just turned out to be this moist, dense banana bread. It's absolutely delicious. And I ended up slicing most of it and freezing it. So I want to show you how to make it. Start off by preheating your oven to 350 degrees. I'm using a glass loaf pan, and a great way to, if you're going to use this spray, an oily spray, is to open up the dishwasher door, or I guess you could pop it in the sink. If you don't have a spray oil, that's fine. You can just dribble some light oil inside. Now I like to spread all this around either with a piece of wax paper like I'm doing here, or with a paper towel. Now the thing is with this bread, you've got to get the oil everywhere, especially in the corners. Now, the other secret I'm going to tell you is to mix up some sugar and cinnamon in a bowl. Now I've got about, I don't know, maybe 1/8 of a cup of sugar in here, and just shook some cinnamon in. And I'm just gonna pour it all in, and then I'm just gonna shake it around till it gets in just about every, well, spot. So this is why you want the oil. Now here's a weird measurement. Put an egg into a liquid measuring cup and then pour in enough milk to come up to exactly 1 cup. I'm using almond milk, but if you don't have any milk, you can use water. Into the mixing bowl, you can either put 1 large banana or 2 small. I have 2 small, and they need to be really ripe, and it's okay if they're overripe. Like, this is not rotten. This is perfect. But you want them to at least be ripe and have the brown spots. Next, add the milk and egg mixture. Add 1 stick of butter that's already been softened. So that's something you have to do ahead of time. I'm using unsalted. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and mix. It's okay if it's chunky. Now we're ready for the dry ingredients. Now this recipe says you just dump everything all in at once. So I have a cup of sugar, 1½ cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then optional is a dash of cinnamon. And then mix this on low. You can stop to scrape it down. Once the flour is incorporated, you can increase the speed of the beaters. And beat until it's well mixed and you don't see the chunks of banana. Now if you want, you can add some walnuts. You don't have to though. Some people just sprinkle a few walnuts on top. I'm actually adding 1/2 cup of walnuts, but that's because I like them. And I'm just going to stir them in. And pour the batter into the pan. And you can use a spatula to scrape out the bowl. And into the oven it goes. Now this recipe calls for this to bake at 350 Fahrenheit for 55 minutes, but the last time I made it, it needed 65. But we'll check it in 55 so I can show you what it looks like when it still needs more time. 55 minutes are up, so now we're going to test it. You always want to have wooden toothpicks. Oh, and yeah, it's getting close, but it's not done. Let me try another one. Just over here. Not too bad on that side, but it's just a little wet looking for me. If it has a dry crumb, that's okay, but that's too wet. I'm actually going to do, another 7 minutes. It's been 7 more minutes, and I just want to make sure, oh, that's much better, that anything that comes up is just a dry, moist crumb, but not wet. All right, it's all ready, and now we're ready to make it cool. Set it on a wire rack to cool completely. Now that the bread is cool, I'm going to show you how to get it out easily. Now look, with the oil and, I know it's sugar, but the sugar cinnamon combination, it feels like it's going to come right out. So I'm going to take, this is actually a cutting board type of bread plate, and turn it over. Couple taps. Oh, there it is. Came right out. So this is an old-fashioned bread plate. Let's see if it comes into the video, and then turn it over gingerly. And now we're ready to cut it. So I'll start this on so that you can see, and I'm using a serrated knife. This time it looks a little different than the last time I made it. I got a little crunchy stuff on the top. It might have touched on some of that sugar. So look at this beautiful bread. It's just moist and dense, like I said. Now what I do, if there's going to be some that's not going to be eaten right away and I want to freeze some, I just cut it into slices, wrap each slice in plastic wrap, and then I double bag it in freezer bags and put it in the freezer. So that's my banana bread. Gotta take the tape. Oh my gosh. It's my new favorite. So easy to make. Now in the original recipe they just said put all the ingredients in the bowl at once except for the nuts and blend it up. If you want to try it that way, go ahead and try it, but this is really excellent. When I take it out of the freezer and the individual slices, I just let it sit for, I don't know, 15 minutes. I'll just eat it cold, and it's delicious like that. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Bye.